All right. Mark Brymer, are you the head of this organization, Wow Entertainment?
I am. I am. I'm the president and founder and, you know, bottle washer, everything. Yes, I do everything here.
And how long have you had Wow Entertainment?
We've been really active in this area for about the past 6 years. Up until that point, I had just been a music writer, arranger on my own, and I wanted to kind of expand the company, bring more people in, start producing live shows, more songwriting, just do more things. And so that's when I became Wow Entertainment and brought more people in about 6 years ago.
And before that, I guess you were in school. Where did you go to school?
I went to North Texas State in the early 80s, and then just kind of started getting work right away in the Dallas area writing. And one of my first accounts was for Six Flags theme parks. I wrote a lot of those shows out there.
And where were you born?
I was actually born in Key West, Florida. My dad was was in the Navy, so I was like a Navy brat, and we moved around a lot, but then mainly settled in St. Louis. And I was there through high school, and then both my parents are native Texans, so Texas was always familiar to me. We spent a lot of our vacations here, so it's always felt like home since I've been here.
In college, what kind of a degree were you pursuing?
Well, I was one of those students that went after a lot of different kind of degrees and couldn't quite ever make up my mind, but mainly it was always in music. There was a period I was majoring in business. I liked business, but I had to work so hard and got really average grades. So I thought, well, I'll just go back to music where I can at least get good grades. But the big thing I learned in college is that you have to work hard and spend a lot of hours at it. And when I started writing and arranging, I just thoroughly enjoyed it, and that's what I felt I could spend many hours doing, and it's been my love ever since.
The thing, of course, that you've been working on currently is this Dig a Dig a Dog song for Disney's 102 Dalmatians. Had you worked with Disney before?
I've never had an opportunity to work with Disney before. I've worked a lot with Warner Brothers, but this was my first entree to that company, and I was very impressed with their entire organization. It was just a joy to work with.
Did they come to you?
They did in a way. I mean, they had put the word out to a lot of writers in LA about looking for the right song for 102 Dalmatians. And one of my co-writers on this project, Pamela Olin, actually, she knew somebody who worked at Disney. They called her about it, and she and I had been successful in a couple of projects in the last year, and she brought me in. So we got the call along, with a lot of people got the call. But what was really nice is that Disney took their time and let us see a screening of the movie. We saw a teaser trailer. They really explained a lot about what they were going for. So it set us up for us to deliver, what ended up the right song.
Did they give you any clues of what they wanted, or did they give you a title, or was it all your own creation?
It was pretty much our own creation. What they didn't want and what they had gotten was a lot of very childish dog songs. And this movie works for not only kids, but adults. So the song had to work on two levels. And Pamela came up with the idea of the Dig a Dig a Dog title. And it just all made us all laugh. So we thought, okay, we have something here. And I had wondered about the possibility of using what they call a sample or a loop, which is very popular in radio today. Do you take something from an old record and treat it in a new way, and sometimes put a new song on top of it? And so when I suggested this to Disney, they said, well, we've been using this song, Atomic Dog by George Clinton, in our teaser trailers. Could you maybe work with that? And it ended up the song that Pamela had been working on, the ideas worked perfectly with a loop from this song. So we just built a whole new song on top of it. And it seemed to be the right combination, or hit them the right way to be successful for them.
What is Atomic Dog like? How does that go?
Well, hopefully, I think we might play a little bit of it in a little bit, but it's from the kind of funkadelic period. George Clinton is quite a wild character, and so it's a song that kind of goes on singing about an atomic dog and just kind of rambles on for quite a little bit. So it was I just basically took like one little measure of it and then kind of put a whole new song on top. But it's a kind of song though, has a great beat to it, gets an immediate reaction. So we kind of took that spirit, but then put a new song on top of it.
How many versions of your song did you write before Disney said, that's it?
I wish I could say one, but it wasn't the case. We actually were, when we first wrote the song, they wanted it for the end of the movie. So they wanted it uplifting, like you're walking out of the theater. When they heard our song, they said, we like this so much, we want to put it at the beginning of the movie. And you know, one of those things of, it's perfect, but we want you to rewrite the verses, you know. So but each week in August, I would come to LA each week, and we'd have a new version of the song. And so Pamela probably wrote about 15 versions of the lyrics. I wrote maybe a good 3-4 versions of the melody. And really, when it was all done, they said, you know, we really liked the demo, the first thing you delivered. And the second lyric we delivered, and that's what they got. But I didn't mind it because, you know, they were going for the best, you know, they really pushed us as writers to get the best out of us. So I didn't mind that at all.
How do they do that? Do they just give you a contract for, you know, the song, or are you compensated each week that you work, or how do they decide?
It's in songwriting. Many times, many writers are asked to submit for a movie, and essentially, like, you do it on what they call spec. That you spend the time to write the song. They might give you a small fee just to cover your expenses, but you're on your own a lot. Now Disney was, they paid kind of along the way. They were willing to pay for this demo production, particularly since they had sign off on, they liked the basic direction, they liked the title. So they were very supportive, and I projected to them, I did a budget on what I thought the various rewrites would cost, and they approved that and they paid for that. So I appreciated the support that they gave us, but that's not always the case when you write for film.
Do you think that you'll be doing more work for Disney?
I certainly hope so. Yeah, I mean, it was a very positive experience on both sides, and they've already done some talking to me, but yeah, I'm wide open to working with Disney, and they seem very open to the idea too.
Is there any talk about 103 Dalmatians?
Well, if I can count that high, I don't know. Yeah, not yet, but hopefully, knock on plastic here, that that this movie is successful, and they'll want 103, 104, 105. Who knows?
Then on the CD, you get credit on the CD, do you?
Yes, in addition to co-writing the song, I am the producer of the single, so I get credited on the soundtrack CD for co-writing and producing the single.
Do you consider this the biggest thing you've ever done?
Yes, I really do. But again, it's the case of I probably worked 10 years really going after the songwriting market, and finally this break has come. But literally, it's I kind of been producing. I have 4 records out this Christmas, but that's because of a record I produced 6 years ago that then sold. Then they started calling back, and then that led to the Disney. And so it takes a while to get that overnight success, and I'm very much that, and my story is very much that way.
Mark, I'm interested now in the creative process as much as you're able to demonstrate it. When you sat down the first time at the keyboard, and you had a title, Dig-a-Dig-a Dog, and you had this atomic dog
Right.
that was kind of a framework for you.
Right.
But when you started noodling around, what did you first start? What did we hear?
Well, one of the first things, I got a call from Pamela, and she said, I have this title, Dig-a-Dig-a-Dog. And she said, and I think it should go, Dig-a-Dig-a-Dog, 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 Dig-a-Dig-a-Dog. And I was like, well, that seemed a little messy to me. So I said, well, let me think about it. I'll call you back. And so I was like driving home, a lot of times when you're in your car, or if you're out walking, you think of stuff. And so I came up with more, a rhythm, just dig-a-dig-a-dog, 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 dig-a-dig-a-dog. Dig-a-dig-a-dog, dig-a-dig-a-dog, dog, dog, you dog, you, dig-a-dig. So it was like a 4-bar, but more of a chant, had kind of more of some kind of feel to it. So I called her back and I said, well, what do you think about this? And so she said, yeah, she liked it. So we had that. And we had that kind of before this Atomic Dog thing came into play. But Atomic Dog, I might turn that down a little bit. There you go. Atomic Dog is basically on what they call like a D pedal. And it's just kind of 1 or 2 chords over and over again. But actually that style is very popular right now with songs. So we had kind of that going. And I first just kind of the chorus, don't be believing, looks are deceiving. And it was kind of, don't be believing, looks are deceiving. And it also works. Dig-a-dig-a-dog, 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 dog, dog, you dog, you. So I kind of came up with those that could counterpoint, what they call counterpoint against one another. So we kind of had that, and then we came up with the verse. And one of the neat things that Pamela did was many times she will write the lyric first, and I'll kind of write to that. And she walked in with this, ain't that the man in the moon dancing over our heads while all good dogs are asleep in their beds, smiling in their dreams at the crazy things people do. When you think you fooled them, who'll make a fool out of who? So, but we wanted, it had to be kind of funky, so ain't that the man in the moon dancing over our heads? While all good dogs are asleep in their beds. So it's kind of had a proud or a slight funky rhythm to it. But if you also think about it, it's, which is very childlike, So again, I'm trying to work for kids, but then also adults. So it was kind of welding this kind of funky bass, but with a playful melody on top. So then we just kind of kept working on it, and then. So it came kind of quick, we got the call like on a Tuesday. Tuesday, Thursday, I had my first meeting with Disney. Then I had about 2 days to work on it, and we did the demo. So within a week, we had the full demo that actually got us the job, the song and the demo done. And it had, I had to make it happen really quick.
And how many other composers do you think were working, trying to get the job?
I would go in the music supervisor's office at Disney, and he had at least 20 CDs that each CD could have 5 or 6 songs from various publishers, various writers, all on his desk. It was just like, we were just told later, we didn't know at the time, but like everybody in town was submitting for this. So yeah, I do feel quite lucky. And honored to be selected to write this.
So they're using it at the beginning and at the end of the film, and but you don't have any other songs in the film, do you?
No, they actually use it. Also, the film composer David Newman, I believe, used it twice within the movie. Also, just the theme of it or the dig-a-dig-a-dog part. We submitted a different song for the end title. And they liked it, but ultimately Kevin Lima, the director, just kept going back to Dig-a-Dig-a-Dog. So we ended up we did a faster version for the end of the movie and a slower version for the beginning of the movie. So as long as Kevin's happy, we're happy, But it's really fun. To me, it gives it like more of a theme song quality to it, kind of a throwback to a theme song, which I think is really fun to do.
Do you expect Puff Daddy will do a version?
I would only welcome that, I've, with George Clinton as my co-writer, I'm up for anything, So we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, Mark, you're a lot of fun. Is there anything else you'd like to have a chance to say about it, or anything I may have overlooked?
Just that I've really chosen to live here in Dallas, and what I find in living in Dallas is that I can work nationally. And it was maybe a mindset change. I lived in LA for about 4 or 5 years, but came back here, and with a mindset that I learned how kind of entertainment operated out there, but I could do it from Dallas. And I'm 3 hours from anywhere in the United States. If I need to be in New York City, Nashville, LA, with the internet now, cell phones, I can get a call like this afternoon. I can be at a meeting tomorrow morning in LA, no problem. And our quality of life is better here, but you can really and yet still be very active in the entertainment industry and living here in Dallas, Fort Worth.
I can only say amen to that because I made the same decision years ago.
Well, good, good. Yeah, and I want to encourage people in the area that, stay creative and keep working at it, because you will have a shot. Who would have thunk I would have been, gotten this lucky, or to, be a title song for a Disney film living right here in Dallas. But it can happen, and it's worth it to keep honing your craft and working at it.
Great, just great. Now, we need to get some edit shots, and okay, just a 2-shot. And best if I do the talking, huh?
You can throw some questions out.
Okay. Did you have all the little Dalmatian toys around to inspire you?
Well, no, I didn't, but we do have 2 golden retrievers at home, so I do have many dogs around to get me in the mood, in other words.
Your retrievers are going to want equal time now on
Oh,
the
I
screen.
know. Well, they have more than equal time now, so.
What are their names?
Jake and Jesse.
Jake and Jesse.
Mm-hmm.
Good retriever names.
Yes.
And they're, what color are they?
One is like a reddish color,
Yeah.
and one is a true blonde.
Ooh.
So
Oh.
they're quite a little pair.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Once it's here.
Yeah.
Okay. And just really, just the same part that you played us.
Okay. You bet. This is kind of like the lounge version. Yeah. Yeah. Or, Holiday Inn Select. Yeah.
Be on the internet before nightfall.
Mm-hmm.
So Miss Wygant with your Dalmatian, one of those tail wagging paper.
Wow.
And we had a wine rack, and broke all the wine bottles.
Mine used to, I had a bunch of low tables, and he was basically an outdoor dog, but when he would come in, I had a lot of goodies on the tables, and the tail just wiped everything off.
Yeah.
They do have
Amazing, powerful tail.
they do have very powerful tails. Yeah.
Is Bayside right there on the coast?
Yeah. It's like
When
me just up a little
101
bit from
Dalmatians
Corpus.
came out, they had setups for us
Is that near the
to
Port Aransas side?
interview the dogs if
Bayside?
we wanted to.
Oh, really? I think that's right across
And
the.
well, I had the
across the
same
bay.
feeling.
You know,
I
it's
had
harder.
when
I mean, it's like
interviewed
I
Lassie,
hate to
you
sound
know.
stupid, but it's like it's such a.
I mean, those are Harrison Ford, wait outside Harrison, Lassie's.
The classic. You're not a classic here.
In the same way, oh, those Dalmatians are so gorgeous. Oh, they had the big parent,
Okay.
La La Land.
Okay. Y'all, I'm performing. Be careful. Okay. Okay. So. I think it was like, don't be believing, looks are deceiving. Digga digga dog, dig a 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 dog, dog, you dog, you. And then on the verse, so ain't that the man in the moon dancing over our heads? While all good dogs are asleep in their beds, smiling in their dreams at the crazy things people do. When you think you fooled them, who'll make a fool out of who?
Perfect.
Okay. Visit. Everybody go see Grinch, and then gets them in that movie spirit, and they go see 102 Dalmatians next.
The Dalmatians. Are you kidding? Grinch for little bitty kids might be too scary. Well, I'm
Really?
talking about three and under. As a matter of fact, Ron Howard is even saying 3 and under. Depending on your kid, but
Yeah.
it might be too much. It's PG. They needed this.
Did you get that?
I am rolling now.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
All right. Mark, how did this come about? Disney came to you, or what?
In a way, I worked with a co-writer of mine.
Oh, that's okay.
Is that enough, or I can talk
that's
more?
fine. That's
Okay.
fine. All right. Did they provide you with the title or any clues at all as to what kind of song they wanted?
Not really. They had received a lot of dog songs, but we came in with the title, and they seemed to respond to it.
A lot of dog songs.
Yeah. What can I say? I can say that every day. So.
Songs that are dogs.
Right, right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Dog songs.
Okay. Okay, let's see where we're going here. All right. How many different versions did you submit before they said that's the one?
Well, believe it or not, we actually probably wrote 15 different lyric versions of this song. And then they went back to the second one.
Always.
Yeah, always.
Okay. How many other composers submitted things?
All I can say, I went to the music supervisor's office, and he had probably 20 CDs on his desk with maybe 10 songs on each CD of just people submitting material.
That's good. Okay. The first time you sat at the keyboard, what kind of noodling did you do?
Well, it kind of started with just the chant initially. I got the call from my lyricist about the dig a dog, dig a dog, dig a dog, dig a dog idea.
Okay, that's good. Okay, that was wonderful that you turned. That will
Okay.
edit. Yeah, that will edit very nicely.
Like an editor.
Well, I tried to do the leg once because I did that a couple of times, so they'd have that.
Yes,
Because
yeah.
I couldn't remember if that was exactly it, but I thought they could.
You'd be surprised how many actors who've been doing it for 40 years still don't understand about you can't keep moving and have
Yeah.
it edit. Okay. You think Puff Daddy's going? Do you think Puff Daddy's going to do a version of Dig a Dog?
I certainly hope so.
Okay. Why don't I just now do some reactions? I think those questions will cover. So just tell me anything. So, one more question. Will you be doing some more work for Disney?
I certainly hope so. Knock on plastic here that they'll keep calling. No, we had a very good working relationship, and it looks like I will be doing some things in the future with them.
Is there any talk about 103 Dalmatians?
As long as this movie does a good job, I think there could be 103, 104, 105. We'll see how far I can go.
Okay. Okay, Steve, you feel like we have enough reaction with questions? Okay, now you just go ahead and shoot. For writing, it doesn't intimidate me, but somehow you consider things just start,
Yeah.
coming, and then you look at it and you might wipe some of it out, and your mind is way ahead of how fast you can write it, whereas with the computer you can.
Well, and see, now with music, I'm finding I'm more creative because it's something I can just can play on the keyboard like a voicing or something weird that it's like instead of like, okay, let's get a pencil. Now what did I try? I can just like click on the computer and boom, and it's in. Before I have to, what did I just play? Or that it's a little more instantaneous, and you're not trying to always remember what did I just play. So.
And people who are so prolific. Like
really, it's more the scenario that I have. The only thing I'm missing at this point is I don't have a Pro Tools, which is the highest level digital editor manipulator. I've got what they call Digital Performer. That's like a sister program that was 60 tracks of music and stuff. But and the fun thing, I got a guy named Rob Shirelli who actually mixed Wild Wild West, that song, and Men in
Did you know there is a Dalmatian here?
There is.
Yes, this Irving Community TV has had the conversation with the Red Van Jail. He hit me, I thought, well, I conjured her up. So, Bobbie, I think maybe you could take her home if you run away.
no, I can't have any dogs where I am now. I don't have a fenced-in yard. I have plenty of yard, but it's not fenced. It's not fair to have animals if you can't spend time.
It's really not.
Well, we have a dog nanny. Hey, Matthew, quit picking your nose. We're going to show the studios here.
Bobbie, I want you in there.
Oh,
Too, please. Yeah.
oh, okay. As if he's showing me what he's doing.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So if you
Digital Performer file.
Sure.
Let's do that.
Let these hard drives spin up.
Okay.
Just want to see it, get a screenshot.
it's saying hello.
Yep.
Anything will do then, I guess.
Yes. Something with a lot of tracks. Make it look like we work hard.
We got lots of those.
Okay. Yeah. Usually not a problem. Going to convince me to buy a faster computer, isn't it? You've been trying to come up with the idea to make me upgrade.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, Bobbie, so this is where we helped create Dig a Dig a Dog, right, in this kind of environment. We have samplers here. You see on the computer all the various tracks that we sequence in. And it's kind of the way folks are working now in the record business of creating multi-track recording. And we're doing it right here in Dallas.
Yeah, just stay right there.
And so this represents what then?
Well, what you do is you've got multiple sound sources here. So different. This can, each box can create maybe 16 outputs of different sounds. It runs through your board here and then into your computer. So they can help. And then it stores here. This is actual digital audio that will store in the computer. You can burn it there and then you can play it back, so you don't have to keep. You can then create new sounds and build on top of that. And then these are all put into files or burned onto a CD that I can take with me either to another studio in town here or to LA.
Yeah, that would be.
It is a Dalmatian.
Dottie.
Well, of course.
Okay. Mark, I hope you like dogs.
Yeah, I'm into it. I'm into it.
But you don't have to run and hide.
Okay.
It's just for something. What is the story?
Okay. Well, I obviously I like bright colors, and I just wanted something to catch people's imagination. I wanted a name of a company with the word entertainment in it, and I just said, well, what about Wow Entertainment? And I did the search on it, and it's like nobody had it. Like, great, well, we'll be Wow Entertainment.
Beautiful.